Time for the morning rush. We start with this. This morning, police are asking anyone with information about the murder of a corrections officer to please come forward. This as his family continues to grieve, waiting for answers. Ross Romero, also known as Leroy, was found lying on the side of the road near Jefferson and I-25 early Saturday morning. APD says Romero was helping a friend change a tire, was later found shot to death. Leroy, a corrections officer at the men's prison in Grants, leaves behind 2 children.
New overnight, officers are investigating a shooting in southwest Albuquerque and say they are still searching for the suspect. Police say it happened at the 7-Eleven at 86th and Central just after midnight. APD says they believe several people were attempting to shoplift items and were chased into the parking lot by another customer. Police say it appears the suspects shot the customer in the leg. The victim was rushed to UNM Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Kristen?
Next weather maker comes in the form of a cold front moving in over the northeast today, and this could trigger a handful of spot thunderstorms over the far northeastern plains. Some of these could be strong to severe. We're watching for hail and wind. An isolated tornado is possible, although that's a lower threat, and we've got mostly sunny skies elsewhere. This will continue again tomorrow. David.
Happening now, a reward is offered for anyone who can bring back a stolen corgi dog to its owner. An Albuquerque school teacher came home to find her doors were wide open and her house silent last weekend. Juanette Alvis quickly realized her home had been broken into, and both of her dogs, along with expensive items like laptops and jewelry, were nowhere to be found. And one of her dogs showed up at an animal shelter within a day. Again, there is a reward for anyone who brings the corgi home safe.
Looking ahead for you, Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Parson will soon be sworn in on Friday as the state's new governor. The state's current governor, Eric Greitens, announced his resignation yesterday. The 44-year-old Republican had been facing potential impeachment over an extramarital affair as well as misuse of a charity donor list.
The fallout continues for Roseanne Barr after she issued a racist tweet about former Obama aide Valerie Jarrett before apologizing. New overnight, the streaming service Hulu pulled reruns of her namesake sitcom Roseanne. This after her reboot show was canceled on ABC. The comedian tweeted, quote, "Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby." Barr was referencing former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett. Now, the Roseanne reboot was one of ABC's highest rated and most watched shows. The sitcom had already been picked up for a second season.
On to new details now. Santa Fe Public School Board members are once again putting off a decision on what to do with 3 aging elementary schools up in Santa Fe. There was a lot of disagreement at a board meeting last night over the fate of Chaparral, E.J. Martinez, and Nava elementaries. The problem is the schools need major repairs and there are fewer and fewer students filling the seats there. The board decided to postpone a decision on all 3 schools. No word on when a decision could be made, though.
New at 6, Navajos hoping to become the next tribal president have until the end of the day to submit applications. Nearly a dozen people have filed to enter the race. The applicants include the current tribal president, a former chief justice, and a former vice president. Election officials will spend the next 2 weeks vetting the applications. The top 2 vote getters in the August primary will face off in the November 6th general election.
This morning, the race for the District 1 congressional seat is getting smaller after Albuquerque City Councilor Pat Davis drops out. Instead, Davis is urging voters to support Deb Haaland for the seat, saying she has the best chance of beating the more conservative Democrat, Damon Martinez, in the primary next Tuesday. A recent Journal poll shows Haaland trailing Martinez by 3 points. Other Democrats still in the race are Antoinette Cedillo Lopez, Damian Lara, and Paul Moya.
Happening now, firefighters continue to battle the growing Keller fire in the Lincoln National Forest. So far, the wildfire is not contained at all and could threaten about 400 structures. Officials say it was sparked by lightning last Tuesday. Fire information shows that it's burned 620 acres. Fire crews say several roads and recreational areas near Carlsbad are closed at this time. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index added to because of some hot temperatures. We've got highs in the 90s, so please make sure you're taking care of yourself, your kids, and your pets. Limiting time outdoors in the afternoon hours. Plenty of water and plenty of sunscreen. David.
And happening now, Bernalillo County is planning to host a public meeting to discuss the proposed sound wall construction along Unser Boulevard. At the meeting, the designs of the sound walls will be brought up for the project to reduce noise levels between Paradise and Irving. County officials say it could be more than 2 years before the $800,000 sound barriers are installed. The meeting begins tonight at 6 at the Paradise Hills Community Center.
As Stroke Awareness Month comes to an end, Sandoval County volunteer firefighter Eric Lawton discusses the tough mental and physical journey he's been on as he recovers from not one but two strokes. Lawton has gone from only being able to speak about 5 words to a 5th grade reading level comprehension. He credits his progress to therapy at UNMH and working with Dr. Jessica Richardson at UNM Speech and Hearing Sciences. His goal is to return to work in about a year. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your morning commute. Not seeing anything major out there on the roadways. The map looks pretty good as far as what's going on the news tracker. We're keeping tabs out there too. Big Eye looks just fine, so hopefully we can keep it that way. We'll keep eyes on that throughout the day.
All right, well, this morning, one animal at a New Mexico zoo is getting a lot of attention for its singing. Listen.
Hi, Joe. Hangman's coming.
That deep voice there belongs to Joe the Raven. Now, 15 years ago, Joe came to the Hillcrest Park Zoo in Clovis as a rescue at just a couple of weeks old. The assistant zoo director says the Raven started talking about a year later. Now, one of the zookeepers who first took care of Joe was a Jimi Hendrix fan and taught him the song lyric, as you heard, "The Hangman's Coming," from the tune "Hey Joe."
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is.
But it's kind of cool as well.
Yeah.
Day planner shows another hot day for us here in Albuquerque. 81 by lunch, 90 degrees, a couple degrees warmer than yesterday with a mostly sunny sky on top. Still watching for potential for some spotty thunderstorms up over the north and northeast. Some of these could be on the strong to severe side. High fire danger in the southeast today, and more of that fire danger concern coming in Thursday and again on Friday. Strongest winds of the week look to be Friday afternoon, and in combination with those toasty temperatures, we are likely to see some red flag warnings go up. As far as what's going on with the allergy report, at last check, quinopods and pine up to medium. Everything else down to low, that is. But you know, with winds coming in the extended forecast, that's likely to get a little worse. So we're going to keep tabs on that. But again, the heat, the big concern for most. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself. Alrighty, moving on to the 5 facts.
And number 5, here's a fun one for you. One animal at a New Mexico zoo is getting a lot of attention for its singing, but we are not talking about a parrot. Instead, it's Joe the Raven. Now, 15 years ago, he came to the Hillcrest Park Zoo in Clovis as a rescue. He was only a couple of weeks old at the time. Now, a year later, the Raven started talking and has not stopped since. One of the zookeepers who took care of Joe was a Jimi Hendrix fan and taught him the song lyric, "The Hangman's Coming," from the tune "Hey Joe."
Number 4 now, there's now a reward being offered for the return of a woman's pet after she says thieves took him along with her other belongings during a home burglary. Last week, an Albuquerque school teacher came home to find her doors wide open. Her house was silent. She quickly realized her home had been broken into and both of her dogs, along with expensive material items like laptops and jewelry, were gone. One of her dogs showed up at an animal shelter within a day. Now the search is on for her corgi named Lazarus. If you know anything about him, you're asked to call police immediately.
At number 3, last check on that 7 day shows a lot of sunshine to finish up the work week, and temperatures climbing through Friday leaves us in the mid-90s to finish the week. Fire danger both Thursday and Friday. This weekend we could be looking at a little more cloud cover and potentially some showers with another cold front coming in. Timing of our next cool down looks to be Sunday.
At number 2 this morning, 3 Santa Fe public schools are safe from the chopping block for now. Overnight, we learned the Santa Fe Public School Board decided to hold off on a vote that could have closed those schools down. This all comes after teachers, families, and students advocated on behalf of the 3 schools. They include Chaparral, Nava, and E.J. Martinez Elementaries. The district says there's been a decline in enrollment, and now the district says it's not sure it can afford to keep all those schools open, even if they're renovated.
On to number 1 now. In a week, policy changes are coming for the biggest police department in the state. Recently, APD's chief launched an internal investigation into how officers handled interactions with the parents accused of prostituting their 7-year-old daughter. Now, both the mayor and chief say they did not get the full story, which would have included missing information, reporting and documentation issues, and interactions APD officers and other agencies had with Terry Sanchez and James Stewart. The chief says some of the changes coming do include how officers handle the intake of evidence. That does include lapel footage, and training officers how to conduct interviews in child abuse cases. If you want to see more on this story and exactly what the chief is now saying, go to our website. That's always on KRQE.com.